we stand as a union right now to say that we're not good?
I get 31,000 a fortnight. That is rubbish. I pay 10,000 for insurance, 20,000 for my daughter. I have still book shuffle to come and work. Beg money here and there, borrow money here and there to reach a work for the week. Hand to mouth. Hand to mouth. And it can serve, and I'm doing so many things outside of my contract that has nothing to do with the bar. Exactly. Dirty clothes you have to wear. Running belly food. You come and you buy more tissues out of your pay more than when you buy food. You go pay, you go eat it them and pay your bills.
I have been at Jewel for over probably 10 years now, right? And the biggest concern, it is the pay of the staff. The moral of the staff is very important because we are the one that is doing the work. We have the capacity, the capability and the willingness, you know.
All right, so let's dive into what's happening right now in Jamaica's tourism sector. If you've been keeping up with the news, you've probably seen that there's been a wave of protests from hotel workers. People who work tirelessly behind the scenes at resorts like Royalton Negril, Excellence Oyster Bay, Bahia Principe, and others. These are the workers who ensure our visitors have the best experience possible. But right now, they're being ignored, undervalued, and frankly, exploited. So, what's happening?
Audio Jungle.
Well, workers are walking off the job, demanding better wages, better working conditions, and more respect. And let's be clear, these demands aren't unreasonable. These workers are the heart of the tourism industry in Jamaica. Without them, the resorts can't operate, and yet, they are expected to work grueling hours, sometimes 12 to 13 hours a day, with no job security, poor pay, and minimal benefits. Now, here's the kicker. The government's response has been, well, lackluster at best. Instead of engaging with these workers, airing their grievances, and committing to real change, officials like Delano Seabright from the Ministry of Tourism, in his attempt to address the protesters, basically urged them to move off the street and back inside the property. Of course, yes, he warned them that the continuing protests outside could be dangerous. He said that, they'd be taken care of inside with refreshments, as if that somehow would made up for the real issues they were facing. But here's a problem with that approach. It's a distraction and it's disrespectful.
But for good order, this is a dangerous road. We want you guys to be on the inside of the property. We're going to have refreshments and so on to serve everybody.
Essentially dismissing their concerns as just temporary frustrations. The message seems to be, go back to work and we'll deal with your issues later. Really? How much longer are these workers supposed to wait? Tell me, how much? The very people who make the tourism industry run, who literally put Jamaica on the map for tourists, are being told to be patient. But patience only gets you so far when you're being overworked and underpaid. And you can't just chill when you're trying to survive on wages that don't reflect the hard work you're doing. Here's the thing. This is not just about wages. It's about respect. It's about dignity. These workers want fair compensation for their time and effort. They want job security. They want safe, comfortable working conditions, and they want the right to provide for their families without feeling like they're constantly fighting for scraps. But the real issue here, the issue that I'm really concerned about is this. Where's the union? Where's the voice that should be standing up for these workers? Right now, there's no strong union presence to represent these hotel staff. And that's a huge problem, if you ask me. This is a major failure of leadership, not just from the government, but from every institution that's supposed to represent the rights of workers. We have seen unions weaken over the years, and now, without strong representation, workers are left to fend for themselves. And guess what? When you don't have a union to back you, your voice gets lost in the shuffle. Management can't ignore you. Government can ignore you. And nothing changes. That's not fair. So, here's my call to action. We need a union. We need a collective force, a powerful voice that can stand up for these workers, fight for their rights, and demand the changes that are long overdue. Without a union, these workers are left vulnerable without the power to make real, lasting change. And that's something we can't ignore. The government and the tourism sector can't keep pushing this issue to the back burner. We need to have real conversations on the condition these workers are facing, and it's time to stop pretending that everything is fine. These protests aren't just about a pay raise. They're about dignity. They're about fairness. And if we want Jamaica's tourism industry to thrive, we need to make sure that everyone involved in the sector, from the managers to the workers, feels respected and valued. Let's talk about this. Why is it that in 2024, we still have workers in one of the most profitable sectors of our economy, working in subpar conditions and struggling to make ends meet? Why are the very people who contribute to the success of tourism industry being treated like expendable labor? More importantly here, why is there no union to protect them again, I say? Why is there no collective voice to demand better wages, better benefit? In a time where workers have been rising up across the globe, why is the labor movement in Jamaica so weak that workers feel they have no choice but to strike to be heard? That, my friends, is the real crisis. That is the real crisis here. We need a union, a strong, unified presence that can demand better wages, better working conditions, and ensure that workers have a seat at the table. A union that's not afraid to challenge the government, the tourism companies, or anyone who tries to undermine the rights of the workers who make our economy run. So, I'm asking you, what do you think? Should there be a union for tourism workers? Is the government doing enough to protect these workers? And why are we allowing situations like this to persist for so long? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is about more than just protests. It's about fighting for fair and just future for the people who keep this country running.